Bruzernation, we are back for yet another edition of the CRUZE podcast. I know I've been gone for like a month. It's been crazy in online grocery, let me tell you. It has really amped up for the holidays and the second wave of the pandemic. But I want to thank you, Bruzernation, for making the CRUZE podcast so popular. I mean, 1,490 plays. I've had matches eclipse Kenny Omega versus Chris Jericho in the amount of listens that I've had. So I just want to sit here and thank the Bruzernation for hanging in there with me and taking a ride on the CRUZE podcast. Each and every week, whether I'm dropping new ones or not, it is totally appreciated and totally unexpected to have the level of, I don't want to say dedicated fans. I don't know how much you guys listen to it. I mean, it doesn't give me dates and times when the CRUZE podcast is listened to, but it gives me little, sections and days and here and there, and I truly do appreciate the support. And here we go. We are getting back to our coverage of the G1 CLIMAX tournament. I know it's been over for like a month, but life is crazy, guys, and isn't that the best part about podcasting? You can just kind of do what you gotta do, and fingers crossed you can drop one each and every week. I should probably try to record more than one a week, but this is more fun. We have Sabre Jr. versus the King of Darkness, Evil, and I'm really looking forward to this one. I know I say that every week, don't I? I'm like a broken record. But really, I'm a huge fan of Sabre Jr., one of the most talented technical wrestlers in the business today. Evil is in the ring. Sabre Jr. has just gotten to the ring, and we are getting the announcer letting us know who is in this matchup. Of course, I just told you who is. Oh, Bullet Club got in his face. Sabre Jr. gets attacked by the distraction, rolls out of the ring and going right at Evil in a big stiff shot on the outside by Evil. Takes Sabre Jr. down. European uppercut does not phase Evil, but sends Sabre Jr. back with a chop. Counters a stomach kick attempt by Sabre Jr., clobbers the knee, whips him into the barricade, and oh my God, a vicious sidewalk slam on the outside of the ring. You could hear that reverberate through the arena, I am sure. And this may not be a technical matchup here. This looks to be a brutal affair so far. I know it just got started, but Sabre Jr. in a world of hurt getting stomped on the outside. Evil rolls into the ring to appease the referee. Sabre Jr. still trying to recover. He's got his knee taped. That's not going to be good for him later, more than likely. And now the turnbuckle pads have come off. Well, one of them. And let's not forget, Bruzernation, New Japan has the boxing style turnbuckle pads. So he just has to remove one pad, and all three are now exposed in one of the corners. Sabre Jr. being taunted as the referee does the commissionary 20 count to the outside. Sabre gets back in the ring. Double axe handle to the spine of Sabre Jr. by Evil. Big arm wringer whips Sabre Jr. into the corner, the exposed turnbuckle corner, and Sabre Jr. is down again. Once again, grabbing the leg of Sabre Jr., trying to turn him over into a half crab, trying to cause the submission here. Now he does not have the taped knee. It is the other knee. That may change as this match goes on. The tenacity of Zack Sabre Jr. drags himself fairly quickly to the bottom rope. Now a side leg lock to about 3 count from the referee just to give a little bit more pressure on Zack Sabre Jr. Slow that man down. Now let's see if Zack Sabre Jr. can recover from this onslaught that has been delivered by Evil so far, and he's just talking smack to him. Oh, a European uppercut. This time it affected Evil. Another European uppercut by Zack Sabre Jr. and a third, and Evil's not taking that. A vicious eye rake, like 3 or 4 seconds digging into the eyes, bounces off the ropes. Evil does. Zack Sabre Jr. counters into an abdominal stretch. Looked like he almost was trying to go for an octopus. Evil counters into a abdominal stretch of his own. Now using his partner in crime in the Bullet Club to create more pressure on Zack Sabre Jr. Takogi, they are telling me, is the name of the gentleman that is out there with Evil. Both members of the Bullet Club. Body slam attempt by Evil, stalling variety, and just plants Zack Sabre Jr. counter 1, cover 1, 2, another cover 1, 2, and still not enough for Zack Sabre Jr. to stay down. Both men are down, trying to recover a little bit. Zack Sabre Jr. is been brutalized already, trying to get some feeling back in his back. Double axe handle to the small of the back of Zack Sabre Jr. Evil's game plan is slow, methodical, and devastating. Arm wringer to Zack Sabre Jr. whips him back towards the corner that's exposed. Zack Sabre's actually put the brakes on it, but with his foot, snapmare, and twist the neck with his feet. This could be the moment that Zack Sabre Jr. needs to take control of this matchup and see if he can pull out a victory here with all the damage that he has taken. Stomping on the face and just rubbing it into Evil right on the canvas. Oh gosh, he takes the arm into and just rips it with his 2 feet, running front kick right to the chest of Evil. And here we go. Zack Sabre Jr. is starting to feel it. Get that second win. He's still holding the small of his back. There was a lot of damage done there. In no rush to make a mistake. Back to the technical prowess of Zack Sabre Jr. Hammer locking the arm, grabbing the other one, a nice pin 1. It was only a 1 count, Bruzernation, but it's only a matter of time if Zack Sabre Jr. continues this. Jeez, the hammerlock in one arm, bending the other one backwards. Now a stomp to the right arm of Evil, and it seems to me that that is going to be Zack Sabre Jr.'s main focus here, is to work the arm of Evil and counter the power that he has. Complete wrist control and stomping the forearm and elbow right to the canvas. Boy, he could have broke his arm there. Went for the Pele kick. Evil's able to counter. Zack Sabre counters. Oh! Zack Sabre Jr. went for a front kick to the gut. Evil caught it, threw the leg towards the referee. The referee caught that, and then just a completely unprotected shot to the midsection of Zack Sabre Jr. Both men are down again. Evil is holding his arm, shaking it, trying to get the feeling back. Zack Sabre Jr. trying to get to his feet, but the pain is back in that small of his back. The adrenaline has worn off just a little bit, it seems. because Zack Sabre Jr. is very slow to get back to his feet. Evil up first, ready to continue his assault. Rushes Zack Sabre Jr. Zack Sabre Jr. stops him, but Evil counters, throws both of his legs into the middle rope and stomps right on the shoulder, forcing him back first into the mat, causing massive damage to the left arm of Zack Sabre Jr. Look at that evil face of Evil. I mean, I guess the name fits. It's pretty evil looking face right there. Disgruntled, angry, looking to cause a lot of damage. Going for a Fisherman Buster. He's able to counter. Pele kick to the arm. Evil counters, bounces off. Evil bounces off the ring. Big time octopus stretch by Zack Sabre Jr. The power of Evil is just too much. He's trying to switch again. Now he switches it to the abdominal stretch. Evil pulls the ear of Zack Sabre Jr. to make him release the abdominal stretch. Fisherman's Buster by Evil. He is too winded, too tired, and in too much pain in his arm to cover Zack Sabre Jr. after that counter with the Fisherman's Buster. Both men down on the mat, middle of the ring, trying to reach deep down to see who can take the victory here in yet another matchup in the G1 Climax tournament. This one, Group B. This is still from night one. I know I'm behind, but it's, it's whatever. Zack Sabre Jr. in the corner, running clothesline by Evil to Zack Sabre Jr. that was sitting in the corner. Places Zack Sabre Jr. onto the top turnbuckle. What is Evil going to do here? He may be going for a big superplex off the top rope. I don't know why I always say big when I do that. It's just a superplex. It's already big. That's why it's called a superplex. Here we go. Superplex from the top rope. Evil rolls over slowly to make the cover. 1, 2. Zack Sabre Jr. kicks out at 2. Evil's looking a little frustrated. I think he expected Zack Sabre Jr. to stay down and give him the win, but there is still plenty of gas in the tank of Zack Sabre Jr. That was not enough to keep him down for 3, but Evil is in control here. Throat slash across Zack Sabre Jr. by Evil. Zack Sabre Jr. doing everything he can to throw elbows to the back of his head. Now he's in a headlock. Flips him over, tried to give him the Zack driver. Unable to, and once again, Evil rakes the eyes. Really digging in there. That might have been like 5 seconds that time. Goes for the distance clothesline. Zack Sabre Jr. is able to do an arm drag counter. Rolls him all contorted. Almost had a 3 with that contortion pinfall with both arms trapped. He's got the head hooked with his legs. Got his arm in complete control. Bending way, way back on Evil. Now he's got wrist control, holding the fingers. There's a weapon in Tagi's hand here. Is he going to attack Zack Sabre Jr.? Sees it, kicks him right in the arm to take that weapon out and force him off of the apron. After going for another PK, Evil is able to grab it, counters, spins Zack Sabre Jr. around. Zack Sabre Jr. is able to counter that and is whipped into the referee that was in the corner that was exposed. Clothesline by Evil, and both men are down, and this is not good news for Zack Sabre Jr. Old Red Shoes is down. And now the assault begins. The ref can't call it. If he can't see it, can't stop, can't be called for a disqualification. What is going to happen here? How is Zack Sabre Jr. going to win this one? No friends for Zack Sabre Jr. in this block, so no one is in this arena. Senton, and another senton by Evil this time onto Zack Sabre Jr. Now just stomping on Zack Sabre Jr., choking him with his boot. Oh, they went for the Magic Killer. Zack Sabre Jr. is able to counter. Big time kick to the arm by Zack Sabre Jr. Now an armbar on the interfering Tagi. Tagi. I don't know enough of their names. I'm sorry, Bruzernation, but I gotta bring you something different, so I gotta bring you New Japan Pro Wrestling G1 Climax 30 Night 1 Group B. This has been a dastardly matchup by the Bullet Club. Evil had him on both shoulders, going for what I believe is Darkness Falls. Tried for a low blow. Zack Sabre Jr. catches it. Now he's in an ankle lock. Zack Sabre Jr. is standing. Evil rolls him over into the exposed turnbuckles, chest first. Now we have two exposed corners of turnbuckles, so really like 6. I didn't even see him take that blue pad off. The referee has slowly made his way back onto the apron. He's not in the ring just yet. Both men are down. What has Evil got to do to defeat Zack Sabre Jr.? Here comes Darkness Falls. Oh, which is a powerbomb off of the shoulders. Cover 1, 2. Zack Sabre kicks out at 2. Nope. Zack Sabre Jr. is able to counter. What a pin by Zack Sabre Jr. 1, 2, 3. Whoa. What a counter. Zack Sabre Jr. is able to escape with the victory with his technical prowess and counter wrestling. Zack Sabre Jr. gets the points all by himself. No help from anyone. Complete counter wrestling. And Zack Sabre Jr. has taken the victory from Evil. What a great matchup that was. Stay tuned, Bruiser Nation. Next week there will be another edition, I promise, of the Bruce Cruise podcast, continuing to cover G1 Climax 30. And remember, Bruiser Nation, stay good, because I'm always good.